Hello there. In this video, we're going to be dividing a number by one digit. And we're going to be using something called long division to solve the question. Now, don't be scared. Long division is very similar if you know what short division is. It's just something that we use when we are trying to divide more and more trickier numbers where we need to work out how much remainder. So right now, we're not going to be having too many tricky questions. We're just starting off basic, and then later on we'll be using our long division skills for harder questions. So the questions we got today, you actually could very easily do with short division, but we're just going to practice with our long division skills so you get the gist. So we've got our first question. What is the quotient of 645 and 5? Now you might say, where do I start here? What does quotient mean? So there's three words that I can teach you. We have this number here on the left called the dividend. We have the one that it's dividing by, which we call the divisor. And then we have the quotient, which is the answer. So if we're going to write this out in a number sentence, we could say, and sorry, I'm going to write with my finger rather than my pen, 645. Wow, that looks funny. Let's try that one last time. 645 shared between or divided by 5 equals the quotient. So the divider, whatever I said before, the dividend divided by the divisor will equal the quotient. That's what these words mean. So that's what our question is. When we have our number sentence like this, the number on the right is actually then written in the, I might just get rid of this. It's written on the left-hand side of our question, and then the number on the left is then written on the right-hand side. So we sort of flip them. So always forget to always start like this. So I'm just going to rub it out and then start our question. Okay, so we are beginning with our question. Now, to do long division, it's always helpful to write on the side of your paper to write these symbols. We've got this symbol, which is our division symbol. We've got times, we've got subtract, and we've got a drop-down arrow. So these four, I just showed three, these four things will help us know what to do at each step. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's start. So we've got the first symbol is division. So we're going to say, can we do how many times does 5 go into 6? That's what division is. So the question really is, what is 6 divided by 5? Because remember, we flip them in the way that it looks like here. So what is 6 divided by 5? Or how many times does 5 get shared into 6? And the answer is 1. Yeah. Then we will go to the next step. So I might just tick that off saying we're done. So now we're going to do times. So we're going to do 5 times 1, which was our answer just then. So 5 times 1 is 5. So that's now ticked. Now we do the subtraction step. So I'm going to say, so we're looking right here. We've got 6 take away 5. And that equals 1. So that step is now done. Our final step is drop down. So we look at our question and we drop down the next number to the right and we bring it down here. I'll try it again because my finger is a bit stubby today. So we've now got 14 as our new number that we're going to start with rather than 1. So we begin, again, we go back to division. So I'm going to go 5 divided by, or divided into 14. Or the question actually is 14 divided by 5. 5 goes into 14, 5, 10. And if I go to 15, it's too much. So only goes in twice, 5, 10. If I count again, skip counting, it's going to be too many. So it goes in 2 times. And then I'm going to do the times step. So we've got 5 times our answer, which was 2, which equals 10. Now we're going to do the subtraction step. So 14 take away 10 is 4. And then we do our drops down step. We bring down this 5, and our remainder at the moment, or our next place value that we're working on is 45. So we're going to do the all again last attempt. We've got divided by, so 5 divided by 45, which is what we're looking at now. And if you don't know your times tables, that's 9. But if you don't, you can skip count by 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. So you can see it's 9 fingers. And that means we're now up to the times step. So let's go 5 times our answer, which was 9. So that will be 45. And then we got the subtract step, and that's 0. 45 take away 45 is nothing. And then we've got our drop step, and there's nothing here to bring down. So we know that we are finished. So our answer will be 129 and 0 remainder. That because we're at the end, we can just see how much remainder we have, and it's 0. So our answer is 129. So back here with our question, what is the quotient of 645 and 5? The quotient is 129. Let's have one last example. So I've got what is the answer if we divided 217 by 3. What's 217 divided by 3? So just remind us how to start. We write the one on the right down first. So I've got 3. I do this funny bracket thing and write 217 underneath because all my answer is going to be up here on the top. I've written my divide, times, subtract, drop symbols down here so I can remember what steps I'm up to. Let's begin. We've got 3 divided into 2. So if I had, let's say, 2 people and I had 3 people and I had 2. Wait, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to count by 3s and I'm trying to get to 2. I can't, can I? So if I start on 0 and I count to my first one, 3, I'm already too big. So the actual answer is 0. We can't do 3 divided by 2. We could do 2 divided by 3 the other way, but we can't do 3 divided by, we can't do 3 divided by 2, but we can do 2 divided by, other way around. We can do this, we can't do this. Right now we're trying to do this. We can't do 2 divided by 3 because I'm skip counting by 3s and I can't reach 2 by skip counting by 3s, if that makes sense. Sorry that I'm a bit tired. So then one step we could do is we could then just jump straight to, well, I've got 2 and 1, so I want to go 21 divided by 3. So that's often what we'll do, but the reason why we're doing that is because, look, what I'll show you. If I did 3 divided by 2, the answer is 0, and then I do 3 times 0 is 0, and then I got subtract, so 2 take away 0 is 2, and then I've got the drop down, so bring this one, and it's 21. So see how the answer is still 21? So that's the reason why when it's the very first number in the number sentence, you can just say, okay, the answer is 0. Now let's go to both digits rather than 1. And if it still didn't work, you go to the third digit and do it in the hundreds. So we've got 21 divided by 3. So our first step is, well, what is 21 divided by 3? If you know your times tables, you know the answer is 7. Then we've got times. So what is 3 times 7? So 3 times 7 is 21. We've got subtract. So 21 take away 21 is 0. Then we've got the drop down. So bring this 7 down to here. So I've got 7 is my next question. So what is now, starting again, what's 7 divided by 3? 7 came by 3s. 3, 6. If I keep going, it's 9. It's too big. I need to stop at 7. So 3, 6. So the answer is 2. Then to work out the remainder, I do the times. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then we've got takeaway. So we've got 7 takeaway 6 is 1. And then I have the drop down step, and there's nothing here to bring down. So I'll stop. So I know my answer is 72 with 1 remainder. We didn't finish it. Later in the year, or maybe even next year, you'll learn what to do with this remainder and how to work it out as a decimal. But for now, at this part of our learning, we're just going to say our answer is 72 R1, being 72 with 1 remainder. I had 1 left over that we couldn't use. I hope you've learned something new today. All the best with your work.